What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so we're hearing constantly from Democrats and leftist pundits, if you will, that, hang on, Doge is not being transparent. Where's the evidence for all this waste and abuse? They haven't shown nothing. We haven't seen anything. They keep saying it's all of it. Well, you know, a simple Google search could find all of that. You know that, right? And it's just funny because, like my last video, Piers Morgan debate, the guy was saying, oh, well, you go to Doge and there's nothing there. And then, you know, I come in and I have a screenshot that I screen recorded me going through every single thing that Doge has found. Like, it's all there. A lot of it's there. We have the receipts for all of this. They're not being 100% transparent. Why? Because nobody can be 100% transparent. It's just an impossibility at this point. You can't tell, like, when this guy's looking through this computer. You would have to have body cams on everybody. And you would have to be 100% sure that everybody working for Doge had their body cams on. Like, that's ridiculous amounts of transparency, if you will. But that seems to be what Democrats want, because this video doesn't exist according to them. Check this out. Musk's Doge cancels 21 million aid for voter turnout in India. BJP calls it external interference. I might have to agree with that if I see all of the evidence. Let's get into it, though, y'all. The U.S. Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, has announced canceling a USD 21 million funding intended for voter turnout in India on Saturday. In a post on X, the official Doge handle listed the number of spendings by the U.S. taxpayer have been canceled, including USD 21 million for voter turnout in India. Now, I can't stand when news websites do this. They took what was two similar paragraphs, two small paragraphs, that said the exact same thing. What can you do, though, y'all? What can you do? U.S. taxpayer dollars were going to be spent on the following items, all of which have been canceled, the Musk-led department announced. BJP's Amit Malviya took to his X to react to the announcements. 21 million for voter turnout? This definitely is external interference in India's electoral process. Who gains from this? Not the ruling party for sure, his post read. Yes, why are we doing this? Once again, this is the question that I ask with all of this stuff. If we are sending money out to the world that is not humanitarian assistance, why are we doing it? For DEI programs and gender studies and all this other nonsense. Why? When we have a $1.8 trillion deficit spending problem in this country. I'm sorry, this is nonsense. And then you want to get into spending $21 million for voter turnout in India. That $21 million could go to something else, right? Or how about let's just not spend it at all? I mean, that would be fine in my book. But, you know, why are we putting money into voter turnout in a different country? That's ridiculous. Are we trying to promote democracy abroad? Why are we trying to promote democracy by spending money on things? No, you don't promote democracy that way. Plus, India is a democracy, I do believe. Why else would they have voter turnout drives? Anyway, other funding canceled by the U.S. Department included USD 10 million for Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcision. Oh, let me guess. This is going to be another one of those things like the Gaza condoms, huh? These people are insane, y'all. Like, sure, we're going to find mistakes. But most of this has turned out to be true. Once again, the left, they're just ignoring it and saying there's no evidence whatsoever. That's what they always do, don't they? USD 486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including USD 22 million for an inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and USD 21 million for voter turnout in India, Doge said. A USD 29 million intended for strengthening the political landscape in Bangladesh, and a USD 39 million for fiscal federalism and biodiversity conservation in Nepal was also canceled. What in the hell? Like, somebody please down in the comments, let me know what the hell biodiversity conservation is. And why do that in Nepal? Like, oh God, a lot of this is just, it's waste. It's all waste, right? They're calling it waste, fraud, and abuse. They really need to cut out the fraud part because, you know, sure, search for fraud, of course, but we haven't found any fraud yet. As a matter of fact, like I said at the beginning of the video, unless you want to say that 59 million to go subsidize the daily housing needs of criminal aliens is fraud, which I think that's fraud, in my opinion. But is it criminal? We will find out. I haven't figured that one out yet, but it probably will be criminal. Similarly, USD 1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. Oh my goodness, voter confidence. How can you spend $1.5 million on voter confidence? That's one of those things. See, the problem with a lot of this and a lot of the titles of a lot of these names is, to me, a lot of it sounds like a money laundering scheme, right? It seems like USAID and a lot of these spending programs, it's like the food pyramid of government spending, if you will, which I think at this point, the food pyramid has been debunked. It's just not true. So, like, that's just what it seems like to me. But, you know, I'm just a guy, right? I just read the news. I don't get into deep dives, research on things. I don't have a lot of time for that, to be honest with you. I spend, 8 hours a day at my day job, for crying out loud. Then I come home and I read the news and then come out here and I spend the rest of my day editing and uploading videos. By the time I'm done, it's time to take a shower and go to bed, right? I work pretty much from 6:30 in the morning from the time I get up, because I get up right before I have to be to work. I'm one of those people that can just wake up, get dressed, like fall into my pants and shirt and run out the door, go to work, get off from work, come home, and then I'm working on this until 9 o'clock at night. And then it's time to take a shower and go to bed so I can be up for the next day. So I don't have a lot of time to do deep dive research on a lot of this stuff. Once again, I just read the news and, put this stuff together in my head. A lot of people, which I do appreciate this from you guys out there, Mr. Bonafide, by the way, do appreciate coming in. This guy seems to know his stuff. And he tells me, hey, look, you're wrong about this. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And once again, in full transparency, I've been wrong about several things, right? I'm not fully knowledgeable on several things. It is what it is. But I love the fact that you guys out there, when I say, y'all let me know what y'all think, y'all do. I appreciate the hell out of that. Appreciate the hell out of that, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. This comes as Doge has continued to outline significant changes in government spending over the last few weeks. The effort by what the Donald Trump administration calls the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge, is intended to cut government costs drastically, but has sought access to critical computer systems, including the Treasury payment system, at the objection of others in the agencies, as CNN previously reported. Yes, as a matter of fact, it is to their objection. Why? Because for some reason, they don't want to be audited. I don't know if I could ever figure that out, right? Like, that's what a lot of this opposition is. And I just can't understand, in part, the crusade of the mainstream news machine to go after Elon Musk and Doge on this, right? The news, the freedom of the press is supposed to be put in place, right, to hold the power to account. Say, when you do things that are wrong, we're going to call it out. And what are they doing now? Right? We've got places like MSNBC is just a mouthpiece of the Democratic Party, even though they say that they're not. But you go watch everything. It's propaganda. It's all propaganda. Right? They'll take facts and then they'll skew it in such a way to make it almost a lie. which they do lie in a lot of cases. But they try to portray a reality that just doesn't match reality. It's just not true in a lot of times. And they're coming out so hard against this. They've abandoned freedom of the press at this point. And they've gotten to a point where they just fall in line with along party lines, essentially. They're just Democrat mouthpieces at this point, right? I don't know anybody in reality that can actually argue against a government audit legitimately. Say, oh, well, we shouldn't audit the government, y'all. They have inspector generals to do this. That's another argument I can't stand, y'all, by the way, right quick. Now that I brought that up. They keep saying, oh, well, we had mechanisms put in place to expose waste, fraud, and abuse. Well, then how come they haven't been exposing all of this nonsense? I wonder why that is. It's because a lot of this waste and abuse, they wanted this waste and abuse, obviously. Like I said it before in a video, Congress could do an audit of this same thing. Congress, this could have been done years ago, by the way, by Congress, as a matter of fact. But they don't do it. All those congressional hearings, that's just theater put on for you, right? Because I watched those for several years. I would watch those on a daily basis. Just nothing but congressional committee hearings, all right? That's how this channel, this channel started, as a matter of fact. I would just post these just for fun, just because I want to spread that information out. And it's all theater, because you get these people arguing back and forth, but nothing is ever done about it. Nothing at all, as a matter of fact, right? And Republicans are some of the most milquetoast politicians in history, right? Because what do? They get this hearing over here and they find all this nonsense going on, and what do about it? They send a strongly worded letter. But what is that going to do? And when it comes time to vote for their appropriations, they just vote for it. They approve it. Right? Like if these people truly believed that, $1.8 trillion deficit spending was a problem, you would have 0 Republicans vote for the government budget, as a matter of fact. None of them would vote for it at all. But they do. They always do. It's always approved. Every single time. And it makes me aggravated. It just does. During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit, he held a meeting with Musk. The two discussed strengthening collaboration between entities in India and the U.S. in innovation, space exploration, artificial intelligence, and sustainable development, whatever that is. PM Modi and Elon Musk also spoke on opportunities to deepen cooperation in emerging technologies, entrepreneurship, and good governance. Musk, who heads the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency, was accompanied by 3 of his children. Now, I wonder how many times they're going to let us know that Musk runs the Department of Government Efficiency. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs said the Prime Minister and Mr. Musk discussed strengthening collaboration between Indian and U.S. entities in innovation, space exploration, artificial intelligence, and sustainable development. Whatever that is. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Their discussion also touched on opportunities to deepen cooperation in emerging technologies, entrepreneurship, and good governance. I think they said that again. During the meeting with Musk, PM Modi spoke about India's efforts toward reform and furthering maximum governance. Sorry about the word slip-ups, y'all. PM Modi took to X to share details regarding his meeting with Musk. Wonder why they repeated themselves so much. That was like half of that news article was just them repeating themselves. I don't know. I guess they do this so they can get more advertiser dollars. I have no idea. I really don't. I've noticed a lot of news articles do that. They'll repeat themselves a lot. But, it is what it is. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm not a writer, for crying out loud. I just read the news. And I happen to notice a lot of inconsistencies with the news. And, those inconsistencies and manipulations get pointed out post haste. if you will. I always try to point them out. And I think that is a tactic of manipulation. By the way, I don't know what angle of manipulation it is to repeat a lot of this stuff, but I'll figure that one out, y'all. I could be just, going down a rabbit hole that it's just an infinite or loops back on itself, and I'll just come right back out of that rabbit hole with nothing. But you never know. I mean, you'll never find what's in a rabbit hole if you don't go down it, right? At least that's what they say. But I think that's all I got on this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section, if you could. Subscribe to this channel. Share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. That's the only way I can grow, y'all. I'm trying to compete with a lot of people. And, if we're going to get the news out there and get a logical conclusion to some of this, just break it down logically, if you will, we need more people portraying the news. But I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got. Y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical, please. Peace.